What would you tell someone, pretend I'm that person, I don't believe it's possible that I could become a millionaire? How would you help me to see that it's possible?
It's just as easy to make $1,000,000 as it is to make 1,000.
Yeah.
In 9 months of just working with me in the Good Money Multiplier program, have made $500,000.
Let's go. What you've been able to accomplish over the past few years?
I've had and founded and operated an accounting firm. We got clients that make $12 million a year, right? And when I tell you that second month in business full time, I made more money in that month than I did all year at the bank. Yes.
You lost everything. Everything's flooded. What kept you going?
There's always going to be obstacles or trials, and just don't quit on yourself. Just don't quit. Those lessons as a young college student, 19 years old, is the one thing I put in place now that helped me, for one, become a first-generation millionaire.
Welcome back to the A-Listers show, where we bring on movers and shakers, people doing amazing things in this world. My name is Alistair. I am your host, and I am back with another amazing guest today. Today we have Consuela. She has a business called
Good Money Multiplier.
Good Money Multiplier, and we're going to be breaking into what she does, what she's been able to accomplish, how she can help all these different people, and just an amazing person to speak to. Consuela, how are you today?
I am amazing. I'm on the A-list, right?
You
with
are.
Alistair. So I am doing phenomenal today. Thank you so much for asking.
Great. So I like to start off by having kind of like a credibility builder. So
Okay.
tell us about
Okay.
what you've been able to accomplish over the past few years.
Oh, wow. So my story. So over the past 30 years, I've had and founded and operated an accounting firm. So I know I don't look 30, right? But yes, for the past 30 years, I've started an accounting firm, and we literally have clients worldwide, international. We're a full service accounting firm, which means we do accounting, taxes, nonprofits, partnerships, corporations. We got clients that make $12,000 a year to making $12 million a year, right? So very diverse, and I do that because I understand business, and I just like to see other entrepreneurs succeed. So
Yeah,
yes.
Amazing. So you kind of do the accounting thing, and what you kind of just do all kinds of different businesses, or who do you typically like to work with?
So our niche is business owners and real estate investors and developers. I'm also a real estate developer, so knowing the tax codes, knowing how to save those thousands of dollars and taxes, just been a plus.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And it's so interesting because a lot of these different tax things are not available to the general public, right?
Oh, absolutely not. The tax code is written for business owners,
Yeah.
period. W-2 owners, those who work for someone else, unfortunately, there's really not a lot of tax benefits there for them, and you're just paying taxes. Where
Yeah.
the tax code is written for the business owner. I'm the one growing up over the last 30 years we'll be at the beach on vacation or doing something, and I'm geeking out on tax code. I just speak the language, right? I get it. So that was me, but I really understood early, like, whoa, wait a minute. This really, really, really benefits the entrepreneur. And I was blessed to be raised by entrepreneurs. My mom was an entrepreneur. My grandfather was an entrepreneur. So I just seen the benefits of being a business owner, right? And then relating that to, my gift, if you will, of just understanding taxes and the tax code and numbers. I'm walking in my dream life, right? It just makes sense. It's things that I do without even taking too much effort because it's just what I do.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what got you interested in getting into accounting? It doesn't
good
seem like a
question.
very exciting thing to get into, but you made it exciting for yourself.
Absolutely. I fell in love in accounting in my senior year in high school. I took an accounting. I had all my classes I needed, so I had some extra electives. And I walked into an accounting class, and I was hooked. Had nothing in school. And we were I was an All-American, ran track, was in Junior Olympics, and you name it. I mean, so I soared in school. I'm saying we, thinking about my brother, my oldest brother, and I was just this duo, in athletics. But I walked into that accounting class, and I haven't turned back. It just resonated with me in a way that nothing had at that time in my life. So
yeah, why do you think that is? What about accounting appealed to you?
Well, I think it was just the numbers. It was the matter of fact of it, right? 2 plus 2 is gonna be 4, right? And so, and that was just me. I believe in having things decent and in order, right? And making sure that things just line up. And I don't know, so part of that just spoke to me. It's been phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you a story about it because I almost did not start my own accounting firm. Yeah, I was in college now. So I'm in college, majoring in accounting, and I was the president of the Accounting Association. And when I tell you, Al, every accountant that came in there, month after month after month, I was like, okay. I called my mom, and I'm bawling. I'm thinking, I can't do this. She said, what's wrong? I said, I don't think I can be an accountant. And she's like, why? What? That's all you've been talking about doing is is being an accountant. I said, they're boring. They all wear black and white, and I mean, they don't speak to you. I mean, they are nothing like me. And I'm having a breakdown because I'm like, this is what I thought I was going to do. And my mom laughs at me. She said, but Consuela, you want to have your own accounting firm. So if you want to talk to the people, talk to the people.
Yes.
If you want to have color, have color.
Yes.
If you want to, be you. Mm-hmm. And I go, oh, rest is history.
I love that.
Yes.
Because so many people, they try to fit into the hole that already exists.
Yep.
But they're neglecting who they are and who they bring to the table and the energy that they can bring to the people.
Oh my gosh. And I've never fit in any box. Yeah. Never, right? And so, and that's one of the things on this journey of being an entrepreneur that I love so much is because I can truly be who I am.
Yeah.
And the more and more I embrace it, the more and more I feel like the universe just opens up to me in ways that, because I'm a servant, I have a servant heart. Like my great-grandmother served the community. I mean, she would make some rolls. I mean, you could smell the scent down the block and people start coming. Oh my gosh. Minnie Lee Perry was her name. And so, but I just watched that. I mean, just good folk doing good things for one another. And I'm so thankful that I had that experience because what I find is I'm good at multiplying people's money, right? Because I know the codes, I know what to do, I know business. But my secret to that is just serve the people. Serve the people. Just serve them. I mean, just see what they need and try to be a solution to that. And that right there, well, it just brings abundance to you in ways that I would have never expected. And I'm not just talking about abundance of money, which, we need money, right?
We like money.
We like money, right? We don't love it, but we like money. Yes. And it just flows. But I'm talking about abundance of peace, of happiness, of joy when you just serve others. It's a beautiful thing. And I think it's too sad that I feel like in America, I'm blessed to travel the world, talking about good money multiplier, teaching people how to see the money they didn't even know they had and teaching them how to multiply it. But when I travel the world, you just see so many people that still take care of one another, look out for one another. And for me, I feel like I don't want to let that go, right? Too many people say the good old days. The good old days. Oh, back in the good old days. Well, I'm a grandmother now, right? And I want my children to experience not so much the good old days, but days right now.
Today.
Right now.
This moment.
That people are speaking to one another.
Yes.
Enjoying each other, looking out for one another.
Yes.
And if we choose to let it go, then it'll let go. So, but I choose not to.
Yeah.
So.
We're in the good old days right now.
That's what I say.
yeah, absolutely. So, you went to college.
Yes.
And you got into accounting. And you realize that you're not going to fit into the hole that they put you in, and you're going to be Consuela.
That's right. That's right. And so in college, and it's a very key piece to my story and who I am is because I had a child at 16 and then again at 19. So I'm literally in college classes with 2 babies.
Wow.
One in a car seat, and I tell my children all the time, you already been to college, right? Because they're all entrepreneurs, of course, and mine, they got the spirit. But it was tough. I mean, it was really, really tough because trying to, looking at the different naysayers, making sure the kids are asleep in class, doing all of that. But adversity and knowing that I was called to do something greater, even at a younger age like that, it made it worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I knew then, if I can get through this,
Yes.
I can get through anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you decide to start your own business right away, or did you go work for a firm for a little bit? Or what was your entrepreneurship journey like?
I was the one sitting in college at the cafeteria table doing people's taxes. That's how I got my books money, right? My gas for the car. So I always, had a way of what I call making legal money, hence good money multiplier. Where I come from, I just think too many good-hearted men and some women, young, that just got caught up in the wrong things, trying to make a quick dollar.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, there's too many ways for us to make good money. And so, so that was just me. I mean, if I knew I needed something, and the traditional financing or the traditional avenues just were not always allotted or available, right, to me and in my community. So I just had to be creative with it. Ooh, and they created something special, right? So
yeah. So you were helping people out in college, like you're helping people doing taxes. You're making yourself available. You're finding your first few clients, and then after college, you went out and you started just growing that business?
I went into corporate America, and I'm so glad I did. I went into corporate America. I started working for a bank, one of our biggest local banks in South Bend, where I'm from, South Bend, Indiana. And that was a phenomenal experience. So I found out, didn't even know this existed, but I was just interviewing. Couldn't find anything that really fit me. And I was doing part-time, taxes on the side, accounting, but nothing real sustainable, right? And I got these babies I got to provide for.
Yeah.
And so the bank had what's called a corporate management position, right? Where you literally go through and train at between 18 and 21 departments. I didn't know a bank had 18 or 21 departments, right? But oh my goodness, that was a game changer. That's where I learned so much of what I'm sharing now. So I literally learned how to manage 18 different departments in the bank. So you're talking about financial credit, building, investments, trust, corporate. It was a phenomenal experience.
Yeah.
And I saw it in all of it. All of it made sense because I understood the numbers. I mean, when you understand numbers and finances, it just, the world makes sense in a whole different way.
Yeah.
Right. So that was an amazing experience. I settled in retail because I was good at sales. So every month I was a number one sales producer in the branch. Every month, every year, or in the bank system. And but after a while, it was just I felt like I wasn't really living up to my potential, right? I felt like I was so stagnated in whatever it was. I remember I got written up and could not get my raise. I told you I got 2 children at home I'm raising, right? And I'm a branch manager. And my boss said that my supervisor at the time said she had, I couldn't get my raise because she heard me talking slang to I'm telling you, slang is what she used. Talking slang to one of the clients, the customers that I was serving. I said, okay. I mean, so this was probably 9 months ago for my annual review was this next, year. And so she reminded me who I was talking about. So you talking about the young couple? That was the first time they had a bank account, right? I opened that for them. They came back, they needed a loan. So I gave them a loan. First time they ever had a loan. So I had to speak to them in their language to know you have to pay this on time. The importance of credit. And talking to them in corporate terms, it would have been over their head.
Yeah.
I'm speaking their language. And I said, you going to refuse me my raise? I said, but I need you to do me one favor. I made her pull them up. I need you to look and tell me if they have defaulted in their loan, which a lot of hers was defaulting at the time, or are they paying on time? They made every single payment. So I'm speaking to them so they can understand the importance of this.
Wow.
You call it slang, I'm speaking their language.
Yeah.
And at the time, I'm bringing $1 million clients into the bank, and I just started realizing my worth and that I think I could do this better. You know
Hell
what I
yeah.
mean? That kind of thing. So I just couldn't. Every time, you know, it was ready to grow, it was always something. So I started part-time and haven't looked back.
Yeah.
Haven't looked back. That second month I was in business, and I think I wrote this down. Sometimes I even think about it, I tear up because I was so scared. I mean, it was like, this has to work. My entire family was like, "You leaving that corporate good job to start your own business?" But I knew, I mean, there was just something in me. I knew I was supposed to be doing this. I didn't have it all figured out, but I had enough figured out to know that I can do this and I can provide for my family. And when I tell you that second month in business full time, I made more money in that month than I did all year at the bank. Yes.
Hell yeah.
And
love
ever
it.
since then, so, oh my goodness. So that was a real, like, okay, I can do this, right?
Yeah.
And just a benefit to know that when you know your worth, you know your worth,
Yeah.
right? And it's important that you, and again, I was doing what I love. I was serving people, right?
Yes.
I was teaching people about their finances. So it's been phenomenal.
Yeah. Rewind back to right before you quit that job. What was that moment like when you took that leap into entrepreneurship for yourself?
Ooh-wee. It was frightening. I mean, shaky frightening, because I knew that it was something I need to be doing. I knew it. I mean, I just felt, I knew everything in me. But at the same time, nobody in my world was like, "Oh, you should do this." Nobody. My mom, because again, I'm the first graduate from college in my family. Wow. And then also the first one to have what they call like this good corporate job.
Yeah.
Which it really was. So it really, really was a good opportunity on so many levels, but it wasn't what I knew I should be doing at that time. And so it was, even now, so when I'm working with entrepreneurs in the Good Money Multiplier program, I understand that fear, right? But now I also know how to lay out and show them, if you do not do this, you're going to be in the same place, right? And I do look at individuals who are still at that bank, still doing the same things. They look so miserable sometimes, right? And because they wouldn't take a leap of faith, because there was a few of them I tried to take with me. I'm like, look, we can work really hard, because at first I started off just focusing on taxes with a small hand of accountants, counting clients. I said, we can work really hard 6 months out the year. And then we got the rest of the 6 months to enjoy life, right? And so some of them said, nah, they were comfortable, right? They were comfortable, and I get that, but I wanted to do something different.
Yeah. How important was it when you left to make it? Like, how dire was your situation?
Failure was not an option. And
What do
that
you mean?
has been my motto, I feel like sometimes my entire life. Failure is just not an option. So what do I have to do to make sure this works, right? And being a mother at 16 years old, again, I was the athlete that had scholarships coming in, and all of a sudden there was this disappointment. Like, I didn't expect broken promises, but now I'm a young woman looking at a broken promise and then trying to figure out, okay, well, how do I maneuver this? Failure was not an option. I was going to be a good mother. So that means that I didn't sleep, right? Because I had college full time. I had these children when I get off, and I had a third shift job. I don't even remember sleeping so many times in my life, but I was able to keep going, right? I'm sure I got some sleep in there, but you see what I mean? Failure was not an option. And back in those days, it was so taboo to be a single mom, right? And but I still knew I got these beautiful children. I'm still a beautiful young woman. Yes. So again, failure was not an option. So that meant that I had to get used to what I call real money matters early in life, right? So I had to learn how to budget. I had to learn how to organize. I had to learn how to set up systems, right? So the kids got picked up on time, and I could get to work. So all those things started young, but they're why really right now them same skills. That's why I tell people, I don't know why we go through things in life, right? It just happens. Yeah. But don't fret over it. Just make the best out of it. And those lessons as a young college student, 19 years old, is the one thing I put in place now that helped me, for one, become a first-generation millionaire, And teaching others how to be first generation millionaires too. Those same things. So yeah.
Yeah. Talk to me about Good Money Multiplier. What is Good Money Multiplier?
Oh my goodness, Good Money Multiplier is it's a beautiful essence of a lot of different things. So good money, when I break it down like that, it is about truly teaching individuals that come from maybe humble beginnings, and then also they've made it, right? They may be making 6 or 7 figures. I meet a lot of 6 and 7 figure earners who just do not know how to manage their money, right? They're still making 7 figures and still living paycheck to paycheck. And so I just found that in my accounting firm, it didn't matter how much money people are making. What do they really understand how to do to be financially free and whatever that looks like for them?
Right.
So Good Money Multiplier, it just started off by just being where I just spoke about financial literacy, talked about how do you budget, talked about not just literacy itself, but how to keep what you have, right? How to build true generational wealth and a legacy when people aren't even having them type of conversations, right? Mostly what I call in my black and brown communities. You don't even have those conversations. Well, let's have the conversations, So I would go around the community, churches, schools, and just have conversations, right? And through my accounting firm would fund all of this. But after a while, I started getting asked to speak internationally. I've been to Dubai twice.
Wow.
Speaking on how to build generational wealth. And I talked about money and wealth and people's mental state, right? And it doesn't matter what country you're from or what you're doing. You can't love money. You need to respect it.
Yes.
But the love of it really will have a lot of people, fight in a dire state, when it's your finances. So, but help teaching people how to put things in place so that won't be an issue for them. So Good Money Multiplier now is what we do is literally teach business owners. If you're established already, if you just want to be a business owner, how to establish your business and do sales from your marketing, from your hiring, your firing, all your systems, your SOPs. We walk you through all of that to become the first generation millionaire.
Love it.
I love it. And I'm so thankful. I just got a call this morning, right when I was coming on. I'm like, this is so great. I have 3 under my belt now that literally that we coach and talk. Not a lot, but I know it works, right? That in 9 months of just working with me in the Good Money Multiplier program have made $500,000.
Let's go. Let's do it.
$500,000, right? From no business plan, no true business skills, but a made-up mind. Or I could do anything with a made-up mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you're ready and teachable, oh my gosh, the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
The sky's the limit. And so my student, she literally called me today sharing how she got a deposit for 2 weeks, right, in her business for $74,000.
Wow.
Where before that, she wasn't working. She just kind of was doing different things, trying to figure it out. And she took a leap of faith. Said, let me help you. I can help you. And yes.
What's the power of a made-up mind?
Ooh. When your mind is made up that I'm willing to do whatever it takes legally. I always say that, right? Because it's that good money. And money has people, I've seen people do some crazy things for money. It's just money. It's paper, right? It's just currency. It's just supposed to flow. So, but a made up mind, that means you got to be disciplined, right? If you're don't have a made up mind, right? You come and go. 1 minute you're dedicated, the next you're not. You can't do anything with that. You got to be disciplined. You got to be dedicated. And it's not going to always be perfect. You know what I mean? And but a made up mind will remind you, I got to get up and do it no matter what. A made up mind, and I did a live before I came in here because to show I got a scratchy voice. I was so excited to be here today, right? And I know individuals would have said, no, I'm not. I'm just going to cancel. I'm showing up.
You're showing up.
I got a made up mind.
You're
you know
here.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And I understand a made up mind allows you to know that the opportunity is in the show up.
Yep.
Show up. A made up mind to show up. And when I tell you these young ladies that I've worked with so far with a made up mind, they show up. Even when it's scary, even when they don't know, they do the homework. I mean, sometimes they got it because they working or children or whatever. They may have husbands and families. Well, you still got to go and do your homework. You still got to do the work. You still got to do your research. You got to do all those things. And see, a made up mind, they'll do whatever it takes to show up and be ready. Mm-hmm. And so we can work with that.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
That's the ingredients. That's the recipe. You need a made up mind, right? What else do you need? What are the other ingredients do you need?
Well, I just a made up mind, of course, right? And just a willingness to show up.
Yes.
I mean, really, everything besides that, and just don't quit on yourself. Just don't quit. I've had over and over and over opportunities where I could have quit a million times over, right? Remember that first year I talked about when I started my business? Well, when I left the bank, right, and I said that second, in 2 months, I made more than I made an entire year at the bank. Well, what I didn't share was that when I went to open our firm, it was tax season, and I was working from home. And I stayed in a ranch style house, right? And we were out in the rural area. I loved it. It's just a beautiful ranch style home, beautiful yard and space. But the power went out. All right? Power went out. We figured out some kind of way to get ready, went to work, because I was still part-time at this time. And when I come back home, the power came on, but all the water was running. The upstairs bathroom, the sink overflowed into my newly made office.
Oh no.
I had flooded. The computer was no good, the desk was no good, the chair was soggy, everything, the file cabinets, my files, my paper, how you going. So I didn't saved all my money, right? And I'm going out and buying all these supplies. And I come and right at the start, lost everything. Yeah. Lost everything. But see, I knew there was better. I was purpose for something different. And sometimes you got to know that. You got to know where you are right now, that there's something better, something more. That's also a good driving force. It's an amazing driving force for people to know that. And because I could have been to me, some people say, well, that would have been an omen for me to quit. For me, that's when I knew, ooh, this must be something good. There's got to be something good on the other side of that. Now I cried, and I was disappointed, hurt, because where am I going to get the money? I'm giving everything I got for this. I went to Goodwill. I found me another computer, and I found another desk, and I started doing taxes at my kitchen table. Yep. 2 months at my kitchen table, I made more than I did at the bank.
Amazing.
Oh, my gosh. So, there's always going to be obstacles or trials. Is it what you call them? To me, they're just stepping stones, right? They're just something, just learn a lesson in that, right? And after that, though, it just taught me some things. There's always a lesson in it, and just look for it.
Yeah.
So,
why didn't you quit at that moment? It would have been so easy. You lost everything. Everything's flooded, What kept you going?
I knew that this was something I was supposed to do. I paid attention to what I was feeling inside, right? What I knew was better for me. And again, everyone else was like, I told you this was, maybe you sure about leaving the bank?
I don't know.
Everyone. And to this day, it's funny because my mom and my dad be like, I'm so sorry I didn't encourage you. But I get where they were coming from.
They're trying to protect you.
They're trying to protect me.
At least they think they are, right? Because based on their own perception of reality, Consuela, you can't go on start your business because you're going to fail. And so I'm trying to protect you.
Yeah. Yeah, stay in college.
And those people that you love.
People
that love you.
Me. Oh, absolutely.
And they're telling you to do the opposite of what's good for you.
Yep.
Isn't that crazy?
I know. It is. And that's why I'm very mindful what I tell people to do. Because I know that they need to do exactly, they have to solve their own problems in that sense, or build what they know they need to build, right? And from there I can help. But I just had a made up mind. I had a made up mind that I knew of something better for me. And there was just certain indicators for me, like I'm a branch manager, but I would leave because my son would have like a football game, my daughter had a recital, and you would swear the whole bank was going to fall apart because I wouldn't. I'm like, I got staff to do this. I ain't got to be here, right?
Yeah.
And it was just little things like that, and I knew that I need to be somewhere that I can be their mother, be present, right? Be the best, because they truly brought out the best of me. I'm telling you, they were the best thing that ever happened to me. Best things that ever happened to me, and just where I think that was another reason why I knew I couldn't give up. I couldn't give up on them. Couldn't give up on our dreams. Couldn't give up on all the things that I dreamed of when I had children, like what life would be for us. And it's just amazing now. I mean, it's tax season, right? I'm a tax accountant, 30 years in business. And I'm here in San Diego, right? Interviewing with Alistair, right? Like, what? But business is still going on. Yeah. I'm living life on my terms. And I remember writing that. That was one of my things, being able to live life on my terms. And here I am.
Living life on your terms.
On my terms.
Yeah. Can you tell me about some of the things that you teach your students and your clients?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, first and foremost, it's all about mindset. And it's interesting because you really can't talk about mindset because everyone feels like their mind is just fine, right? But it's the one thing, I can't teach you anything about the foundations of making sure your business is solid and structured correctly to get funding, or how to hire staff, or we can't even really have them conversations. Are you really ready to know that it's okay to be a first generation millionaire, right? To really believe that when things come up, this is what I need to do. So definitely mindset. Mindset is something, I know it's an overused word right now, right, in the industry and out in the world, but it's really real. We really got to focus on what we're believing, what self-development that we're doing each and every day. Like my sales team, every day we have to do some kind of development. Every day, right? And then I also said, so does the accounting team, so does the tax team, so does the marketing team, because it's so important. And so they learn also that development, that is important. We take them to establishing their business. We teach them the money. I have a module that says, show me the money. It's phenomenal. It's absolutely, it's mind-blowing because I look at it as a way differently than most people do, because you really do got to understand your sales, and you got to have a sales team where most people look at that. That's be the last thing in their business they look at.
That's true.
Last thing. But you need to look at it up front, right? You really need to see what that looks like, and when you see the money and potential, all the rest of it, once they see that, the rest of it is an ease, because most of the other things are in their wheelhouse. You know what I mean? What they know how to do. Yeah. And so their passion, right? So I just make sure that even working in your passion, that's how beautiful this is. What you were purposed to do. I believe we all have a purpose. I hired a coach one time, and she was talking about your distinct natural ability. We all have DNA, our distinct natural ability.
That's
and that's
DNA.
so true.
Yeah.
That is so true. So so we tap into that. Why are you here? What do you want to do? What do you do? What would you do even if you didn't get paid for it? Right? What is that one thing? And so we tap into that, really, and then we focus on it. And how can we then, based on the money, based on the figures, based on what the market is saying, how can we turn that into $1 million business? Because what I do wish, Al, somebody told me years ago, is that and I heard this, I think, from Myron Golden. It's just as easy to make $1 million as it is to make 1,000.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is so true. You know, it really is. It really is. And I just wish someone had told me that before, because again, growing up and young in business, for me just to make, $30,000 in a month was something, or to make, so I had a cap even then, thinking, because just it was enough just to make it, just to not to have to go back to the bank, right? And so, but I didn't really put a number on it like I should have. I really, as long as we are comfortable, we're living, and in the very beginning, I thought that was enough. As long as I was making more than I was making at the bank, I'm good, right? Well, no. I mean, I could have been a millionaire so much easier, so faster, right? So now that's one of those things that I truly know that when you're looking at the numbers, doing what you love to do, and then also put things in order that you have a true business, an organization that it'll run without you. It's a game changer.
Yeah.
Game changer. So
You talked about limiting beliefs. And that one of your biggest challenges, or one of the first things you do, is to help teach them that it's okay to be a millionaire.
it's okay.
What would you tell someone, pretend I'm that person, because I need some of that. What would you tell me or somebody, pretend like I'm that person, grown up into never having seen millionaires around me, not knowing it's possible, and I don't believe it's possible that I could become a millionaire. And I am living a very average life. How would you help me to see that it's possible?
Well, one of the things that we do, so our inner circle program is what I created for someone just like that. But you have to have a made up mind. As long as you have a made up mind and know that you want to do business, right? That you do know that I need to do a podcast, and my podcast could be, bring in millions of dollars for me, right? So even though I would make sure, so one of the things I've done is allow people to see it. Because a lot of times you got to see it to believe it. So I put them in proximity of other millionaires, right? That's part of, and then so we have other millionaires. I may invite you on to speak to them once a month. Once a month we do have someone external come in and just have a conversation with them in whatever it is that you do, right, in your wheelhouse. That helps on so many levels to know that, oh, I'm not just the only one, right? Or so that also, and then we do it also we do live events. So then again, being in proximity makes a huge difference. For me, it really did. I know now that, okay, I can be a billionaire, right? I've been hanging out with billionaires, right? And oh my goodness, it's just, so yes, that's what we do to show someone like yourself, just allowing you to see it. First, we're already going to show you the money. We're going to show, I have a formula of reverse engineering the numbers for you to see them, make them really easy and attainable. It's a game changer. Then throw a sales team behind you to make it happen. And then it's going to help fund your entire organization. And then put you in proximity of others to remind you when you get scared, when you start doubting yourself, when your wife, husband, mother, kids, whoever it is, right, comes and say, you sure you want to do that? Because everybody's going to keep questioning until you start making the money, right? No one questions me now, right? And so, but I get it. They're concerned. Yeah. We read books. They have to do certain audio lessons. And we come, tell me your takeaways. Let's talk about that, right? And because I'm serious. And I've seen, again, too many times where people start making money and then they start sabotaging themselves. So I just take out that sabotage element and hold people accountable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So, what's kind of in the game plan for you? Like, where are you trying to go next? Are you just, do you have like a 10-year plan, or what does your future look like?
My future
what's your ideal, like, dream life, your ideal scene? What does that look like? What's that heaven for you?
Oh my goodness.
Heaven on earth.
Heaven on earth for me. I'm a family kind of gal, right? I love family. It's having all my children together, right? And we have like a compound, if you will. So we're all on the same grounds, right? And everybody has their space, right? But for me, I have been dreaming when I was young, like 5, 6, 7, 8. Our elementary school had a planetarium. So I fell in love with the sky, and I wanted to be an astronaut. So I went from being an astronaut to an accountant, still A's, right? And so A-list.
Yes.
And so, but for me, I want a private jet.
Yes.
You're right. We will have a private jet, and because I want to still travel the country. I love People. I love meeting people. So if I'm in proximity of meeting new people, right, and talking with others and seeing how I can help solve a problem, become a solution, I'm a solver. And that's just what it is, right? And I don't want to necessarily tell people, but if you're willing to listen, right, 99% of the time, I can guarantee I got a solution for you, right? And I just want to be able to travel and have fun and laugh and spend time with my grandbabies, and living life without worried about money. And so, because we have that passive income coming in, because we're doing the things that it takes to, that each generation understands money and understands what it's like to do the thing that they need to do for themselves in our lives. And not just because Sweet G, my grandbabies call me Sweet G.
Yeah.
Sweet G says so, right? But because they understand the why, right? And so I'm just living life on my terms.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm not working much. I've been working since forever. That's how I feel. Like I've been working forever. So not working much, but definitely still have an effect on this world. Right? We're going to go and build bridges in Africa and towns, right? And provide medical. We're just going to do some phenomenal things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, when you get one of those wins for your client, like this client Sharon, who just got a deposit for $74,000, how does it make you feel?
Oh my gosh. Oh my God. It's so humbling. It's so humbling and exciting all at the same time, right? Because again, for me, this is something new. My mom, I don't know who I got it from. My mom, my dad, I don't know, but it's always just go big or go home for me. Always. And my mom always said, everything you do got to be like just over the top. It's not enough just to do one thing. I mean, so, but then she's like, because if you've done enough, right? And if you just stop right now, no one will feel that you've done more than most people dream of doing. And as I get that, and I know that, because I think she wants me just because I work all the time in her mind, in her eyes, and I do, but I love creating. I create money. I create millionaires. I create communities. I create happiness and peace for people. I love to create. And so, but now I think she understands that. But I have also learned to do more self-care. Right, because as a mother, I get what she was saying too. Because I could just go. But I was in my zone. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, I think we just got to be mindful of what we're doing and how we're helping others. But to me, yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah, I really like what you were talking about. How, we like money, but we don't love money, right? I mean, like. Because when you get into the love of money, then money becomes the result. But in reality, what you have to do is focus on serving others.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
And if I can affect other people's well-being, then the money will flow to me. It'll flow, right? It
does, yeah.
And if I can focus on helping one person, I get, I'm gonna get I'm gonna be rewarded on my ability to help that person. If I help 100 people, it's limitless. And how many people are there out there in this world that I have the capability of sharing my light with?
That's right, and that's right. And because when people ask like your questions, almost hard sometimes for me to answer that because it's not a material thing for me. So for me, like, what does life look like is truly helping others, truly helping solve some life issues for people. One of the things that I can see in my mind, I know that I'm going to be at the UN, right, talking about building sustainable communities. Right, because what I haven't talked about is that I have a company, and that's what we do. I started right in my own hometown, where there was so much plight, right? A lot of homes are starting to be abandoned, a lot of slumlords, if you will. And I just created, we call it, my youngest son, Alfonso, called it Suelasville, and it sticks. So Suelasville is a place where we started renovating dilapidated homes, right, and putting people in them. But we also teach people how to be tenants, so they understand there's a standard, right? And you won't be tearing up these houses. But then we teach them skills. And skills is so important. Skills. We teach them life skills, and then get them ready to then buy those homes. So now they're homeowners, and they know how to maintain their lawn. They know how to keep their house clean. They know how to manage with the children or wherever they are in their lives. So for me, I do know that that's what the future looks like for me. Really travel in this world, because I do know there's communities all over this world that have been disenfranchised, if you will, right, systematically from wealth, right, from just basic needs. Sometimes there's so many communities without food deserts in America. That's crazy, right? You can't even walk to the grocery store, right? And so that's a whole nother thing. But so those are the things that I see myself being able to do, because again, I've proven that it works. I put my own money, my own sweat, my children's college funds. Thank God I was able to replenish it, But I did. I just went all into do this beta testing. Like, you can't care for other people, right? You can't provide quality housing to low income people, and they won't tear up your houses, right? But you gotta have an understanding, and to know me, I don't play the fiddle about business. I do not. So, but that's an understanding that we have, right? Do right. Just do right. Do right, and I got you. And but now I know that works too. So that's one of the things. I want to travel this world creating sustainable communities where people can economically be stabilized. And then, through Good Money Multiplier, they're able to have economic prosperity, right? Discretionary income, be able to, we shouldn't be in America. People don't have money to go get an ice cream cone. You know what I mean? To walk down the street with their children safely, right? And just enjoy life, right? So that's my future, and that's what that looks like.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you deal with a lot of entrepreneurs.
A lot of entrepreneurs.
Both in your accounting business and in your coaching business. Mm-hmm. What's one of the biggest challenges that you face when dealing with these people?
I think the biggest challenge that I've seen that's consistent is really business funding, right? Business funding, or even understanding. So many people just say, okay, I'm just going to bootstrap my business, right? I'm just going to, like I did. That's what I did. I cashed in my 401k and stocks when I left the bank, right, to fund it. And, but there's now I know, right? I've learned along the way, that there's some things you just put in place first. Get you some capital. Start your business where you're not stressing about the money, right? It's hard to make money when you're stressed about money.
Yes.
Wouldn't you agree with that?
Because you're starting from a scarcity mindset.
There you go. Yeah. And when you eliminate that, and all three of these young ladies I've worked with, we eliminated that, and within 9 months or less, they're doing phenomenal things.
Yeah.
They'll be millionaires in a year.
That's amazing.
So, yes.
Yeah.
So taking away that scarcity mindset, you get it right there on the nail. And that's what that does. So that's one of the things I find with most businesses. I don't care where you are, because a lot of people don't even understand how to get business funding. Who's talking about that? I mean, really. If you're an entrepreneur, unless you just know someone that knows someone, you're not having a conversation about how to properly set up your business so you can get funding. Right?
Yeah.
Some people know, but too many people do not. Yeah. Too many entrepreneurs that are doing business. And entrepreneurship, entrepreneurship is, to me, is what I feel like the entrepreneurs I know and I met and that's out there in this world, they're what's keeping the world going. Mm-hmm. They hire more people, right? They're good to people. Right? They're trying to make a difference in their community. And, so why not give them what they need to really succeed? Yeah. And have a life where then they can turn the lights off at work, go home and relax and enjoy life, because things are running fine, at your business. Mm-hmm. And that's whether you're brick and mortar or virtual. Mm-hmm. And so that's how I see things. It doesn't have to be as hard as it is. So I'm going to give that solution. And when I was at the bank, what I realized is that they would send me to different branches or different departments that were in trouble. And I used to complain all the time. They sending me always to put out the fires. And then as soon as everything is fine, then they put somebody else in there so I could never sit back and enjoy it, right? So I used to fuss about that. but now I know that's my secret sauce, right?
Yeah.
I'm good at that.
Yeah. I mean, that's a compliment, right? That's a hard
now
place to
I
be.
see it, yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's where you put like your A-lister, right?
That's true.
That's where you put your top dog in there to go fix everything up. And then you're learning how to put out these fires, how to deal with these challenges on a repetitive basis.
That's right.
And then you figure out the patterns, and now you know how to do it for other people.
That's it.
Yeah, and now you're able to serve people and to help, enrich other people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that goes back to when I first started our conversation about when things happen in your life, find a lesson in it. Because for too long, I was fussing about that, right? I mean, because every time I was like, I didn't see it. They weren't telling me, and I wasn't getting a raise for it or getting any award or just no conversation about why, right?
Yes.
There's issues, send Consuela. There's an issue, send Consuela. And I'm like, and so I was always so in a state of fixing things, at a time where I could have just used some, to be able to sit back and enjoy the fruits of my labor, right? But then after a while, especially having been an entrepreneur, there's always fires, right? Being a serial business owner, there's always something going on. It's always something, and so I'm just thankful because I was able to see, okay, all right, that was a good thing for me too, right? That was a good thing for me too. Every stepping stone, every situation, being a teenage mom, taught me real money matters. Mm-hmm. Now I know how to teach others real money matters, right? Yeah. And so that's what I would just say to everyone. It doesn't matter where you are. If you're life, there's going to be trials. There's always trials. There's trials. I mean, that's what makes us who we are, right? How we go through trials.
That's right.
And so embrace them. See the lesson in it and learn it. Because I also learned when you learn it, if you don't learn it, you're going to go over it and over and over until you learn it. Find your lesson in it, learn it, and embrace it, because there's definitely be something. If I feel like if our Creator, right, gave you that lesson, it's for your benefit sooner or later, and you'll see it. Yeah. So just embrace it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're coming close on time here.
All right.
Got a couple more questions.
Okay.
Now, you've made an ascension from struggling to making it, right? Mm-hmm. What, if anything, surprised you about when you finally start getting that wealth in your hands? Mm-hmm. How did that change? How did that change you? What surprised you about actually getting that wealth?
That's a good question. And truly, one of the founding reasons why I said first generation millionaires, we need to teach something to them, because finally getting there, we make that $1 million mark, and then again, it's not as much as you think it really is, right? There's still things that need to be done. And there's good and bad that come along with that, right? Family dynamics, right? There's business dynamics. There are taxes you have to deal with, right? So for me, it was like, ooh, this needs to, if individuals now, like if the goal is to be a millionaire, here's so many people, I'm going to be a millionaire, I'm going to be a millionaire. Well, what does that really look like, right? For me, it was very exciting to be able to share that. It's funny. I didn't even realize. I really still hadn't realized. Cause I'm in the thick of things, and I was looking at getting some funding to buy some real estate, and I had to do my personal financial statement. Yeah, get my net worth, and I hadn't done it for a year or so, but I've been doing a lot of different deals, and when I looked at it and seen it on paper.
Wait a minute.
I said, wait a minute.
I made it.
Wait a minute, right. And, and then to see the liquid assets as well as the, all the assets, I was like, oh my goodness. I was just doing it. I was just, right. And so, again, I also talk about that in our Good Money Multiplier program, right? There's courses we have for individuals no matter where they are. But that's part of, you need to look at your personal financial statements, right? That's part of the assignments, to really understand where you are. And so when you get there, right, the next thing to do. So it was exciting. And I want to say, too, because then I, to share that with my parents.
Yes.
For me was the thing, and to see not the pride, but the thankfulness in their faces to say, "Oh my God, my daughter's a millionaire," like multi-millionaire, and so that was priceless.
Yeah,
that was priceless. Because again, I'm family. I come from some good people, good-hearted people, good people, but we've been through a lot, right? Yeah. Living in this world of America, right, and doing right, but it's been so worth it. Yeah. So worth it.
Well, give us one last message you want to talk to the people.
One last message. I would definitely say that remember whose you are, right? For me, whose I am, not just who I am, right? But it's okay to be. It's okay to be in this world. It's okay to wave. Like in our community, Swaylesville, we did a wave challenge, right? It's okay to wave. It's okay to be nice to individuals. It's okay to be kind, right? And I got this from my coach, Mike Barron, which I'm just in awe at him on so many levels. We just celebrated his birthday. But he said something, and to me, it just confirmed what I believed in, but I didn't see it in the world. The world was getting away from it. And it was, 1, find people that are real. 2, treat them like family. And 3, push their success. Oh my gosh. I feel like I get goosebumps.
Say that again for me. Say that again for me.
1, find people that are real, right? 2, treat them like family. And 3, push their success. Oh my gosh. It liberated me to, it's okay to do right by people, right? Hold them, but they got to be real back to you though, right? And oh my gosh, so for me, I think that needs to be, especially for entrepreneurs, find people that's real, treat them like family, and push their success. It's been a game changer. Life for me has truly changed when I started embracing that about a year ago. On a whole nother level. In the heights that my companies were able to go to just by truly embracing that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Amazing. Consuela, this has been an amazing, amazing episode.
Thank you.
I want to thank you so much. I guess one last question for you. Do you think people should follow my channel?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, they should probably subscribe maybe?
Definitely subscribe.
Yeah?
Oh,
okay.
Yes. Absolutely. Ring that bell wherever it's at, right?
It is. All right.
Oh, this has been phenomenal. Yeah. And I've even been blessed to watch and see you interview some others. I watched some of your interviews. Phenomenal. The way you get people to just open up and shine is relaxed, right? And it feels good to be on the A-list, right?
Good, right? That's what I thought. That's what I aim for. Thank you so much. This has been another amazing episode of the A-Lister Show. Thank you so much for being a part of this journey. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. We're going to have amazing guests. It will not stop. Follow Consuela and her journey, the Good Money Multiplier. Thank you again. And until next time, this is the A-Lister Show.